Hey guys, it's your boy Matty Oz here. And yes, I'm in a different spot today. I'm in a different spot in my house. And I'm sorry if you can hear my dog walking. He decided to walk as I started shooting this video. So, sorry, don't mind him. But, I know it's been a minute. So my last upload was in December. I've been super inconsistent, and I feel bad. But, my first video was 2025. Let's go. But, we made it. And I'm shooting this on February 28th, so, only 2 months in. And, but I kind of wanted to do a mega review of some of the stuff I've read in the past 2 months since starting 2025. So please, sit through it and just hang on, because I think I've read some good stuff this year, and I've read some stuff that I started reading, some series I started to read that I just haven't gotten a chance to finish yet, and some stuff I've read that I'm I may not want to pick it up again, and then some stuff I'm okay, I love it. But the first book, or the first manga I've read this year was Kamen Rider Kunga, and I only read the first volume so far. And this is what I'm kind of up in the air about. I may or may not pick up the rest of the series just because of the first volume. But I read this, and I'm not going to go through a whole description of each one, but if I was a detective who is trying to solve a murder case, and this guy keeps popping up everywhere, and then turns out it's Kamen Rider, but the spirit of Kamen Rider chose this other guy instead of the detective, which I did not like. I feel like the detective, from the beginning of the volume, it felt like he was going to be Kamen Rider, and then that Kamen Rider chose this other guy who kind of followed around the cop and only caused trouble. And I'm not a fan, I wasn't a fan of how the characters were wrote or how the story was. It was okay, and I know that this Kamen Rider story isn't as well received as others. But it's the new one though. But as far as I know, it's not as well received as the other Kamen Rider stories are. But for me, it was definitely a jump, because I've only ever read the original Kamen Rider, the one that came out in the 70s, I think. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong. But I only ever read the one from the 70s through the complete collection, and I jumped all the way ahead to this one, which I think this was the last one, at least to come out in America. That this was the last one to come out, the newest one to come out. So that one I'm going to give it a solid 6 out of 10, because it wasn't awful, but I think it could have done so much more. It was okay, it could have been better. And then next up, Gregor, I can never pronounce it. I finally decided to go more in depth. Now, this is a comic series, an American comic series, put out by the Ghost Machine team. And first of all, I love these guys. I love a lot of stuff they do. And it definitely helps a little bit that I met all the Ghost Machine people, and I have autographs from one of them. And actually, the guy who works on Gregor, and he works on a couple of them, signed my t-shirt. So I should post that on my YouTube one day, and also my Instagram, because I think that's the coolest thing ever. But that definitely doesn't influence my decisions. But super nice guys, by the way. So if you haven't read any of this stuff, go read it, because they got some cool stuff like Chunky Ardell and Red Kill. They got some cool stuff. But Gregor, I remember I picked up the first issue last year when it first came out, and I liked it. And I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. I love this guy who was dying from cancer, but when the nuclear bombs went off, he absorbed the radiation because he was doing this weird experimental chemotherapy thing. So instead of dying in the nuclear explosion, he absorbed all the radiation. And that's how he became Gregor, whoever it is. And he skills up beating the bad guys, which I love. And this story, again, this isn't the best story I've ever read in a comic series, but I would say it was a dumb, but it was a fun story. And it's just one of those series where it's it doesn't matter about the story. It's more about the action and just the artwork for it. Except this has awesome artwork. And so I got the first trade paperback, and the first trade paperback was awesome. So I'm curious where they go after this one, with the way the first trade paperback ended. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10 because I thought this was phenomenal. I loved it. It was fun to watch. Like, this is one I'm definitely going to keep up more, and then it's in the future. So keep an eye out for Gregor if you're into American comics or just want to try something new. So please check that one out because I think it's such an awesome series. And then next up, I read the new Deadpool and Wolverine comic series that came out. And I didn't know what to expect with this one because I kind of didn't just read into it. I was like, okay, whatever. If it comes out, it comes out. And so I picked up the first two issues of it. This one was fun, and obviously so far the story isn't explained that much in terms of what's actually going on. But Deadpool is being controlled, and then he meets Wolverine, and that Wolverine's doing his thing, and it was okay. Like, it's fun. Obviously, that there's a lot of the dialogue that happens, and it's Deadpool, so constant fourth wall breaks and constant jokes, and that was fun. And the action scenes, I love the action scenes, but the story, I'm not sold on the story yet, and that's my issue with it. But I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10, just because I think this was such a solid story. Like the action and the comedy kind of made up for the lack of a story or lack of a good story. Because again, comic book story, just that there was no such thing as actual continuity, And then last one that I've read or I've started reading and I've really enjoyed was give me a second here. I found it. Sorry. So it was the Ultimate Wolverine series. Now, if you don't know, the Ultimate series is a series that was created by Marvel back in the day, back in the 2000s, and that was really that you had the first appearance of Miles Morales, but in the past year they decided to pick it back up again, and I know they've done the Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Black Panther, and then they had a comic series called the Ultimates, and then they just started an Ultimate Wolverine, and that's when I started, and I started reading Ultimate Spider-Man. I loved it. But I had to get back into it because I fell way behind. And then Black Panther, I thought was But I'm talking about Ultimate Wolverine. I thought this was such an awesome comic book series so far in the first 2 issues. Because, mind you, this is an alternate universe. And even the story, that they found Logan in this place, and it's Colossus and magic, and that they run this organization, and that they found Logan to be Weapon X. And so they're trying to figure out a way to control Logan, aka Wolverine, and that they're doing all these tests on him to see how well he can do in combat and how well they can control him. So I thought this was such an awesome start, and this is another one I'm definitely starting it. So I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10 too, just because I feel like the story was pretty interesting, even though confusing at times. I'll admit, confusing, but the action was awesome. I loved the artwork. I loved the new character designs for Wolverine because it's a little bit different of a design for him. But 8 out of 10. And yeah, so I just wanted to catch you guys up a little bit on some of the stuff I've been reading. I'm trying to be better with my reading, and I'm getting back into reading, don't worry, so that there was a time where I kind of burnt myself out. But I'm getting back into it, and I'm reading some novels too and some other stuff. So if you want to see more reviews on that, then please stick around. I appreciate it. I should be better at posting my content. But till next time, peace out, guys.